We are now in negative gamma here in both SPY and QQQ. So risk is now a thing in the markets. Tech down 1.36% on the day, led to the downside, and we'll get into the charts as well as some of the dealer levels moving forward. It is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. If you guys like the content, please consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Let's get into it today. So we talked about this yesterday, and I'm just going to kind of rehash a lot of the things I said. That right now we have we had a pretty good sell here. I thought we would hold up for at least one more day, but that wasn't the case. We did sell here, and Q's down 1 1/3, so pretty good dump. And I'm hearing a lot of talk already about buy the dip. We're going to just rally after Jackson Hole, or rally beforehand, or we're oversold, which we're oversold. We're down 60 basis points. We're not even below the 20 moving average. But I just want to caution everyone, and what I said yesterday, like tomorrow, volatility will unpin. There's a lot of talk about, advanced decline. We had 75% advancers. That's great, but there's a reason for that. It's not because of rotation, it's because of volatility being pinned. And it will become unpinned tomorrow. And the spiders and the Qs will go into negative gamma for a while, starting tomorrow. What does that mean? It means the reason that these dips were bought so easily will no longer be there. So just be careful trying to buy dips here. This is a prove it market, right? It needs to reclaim levels intraday in order to, prove that strength. So I'm not standing in front of levels here. If we take a look at tomorrow, you can see spiders fully negatively hedged all the way, negative gamma pretty much across the board here. And the Qs are really the same way. Now, we did hold, and there's 570. We did hold 6,400 SPX by the close, and that's your positive here for bulls. So I definitely like that. And, maybe it's conducive to a rally tomorrow. Hell, we could even squeeze tomorrow. We might even make a new high. But what I don't like is that the Qs led the downside, and that's usually a precursor to overall market weakness, right? Usually the Qs are the ones that top out first. We see this in every single top. If I just look at any top ever in the market, it's always the Qs first. So that is a risk here. And, if we do, come back up, maybe on Jackson Hole, maybe beforehand, and the Qs aren't making a new high, that's a red flag to me. So we've been talking about this. We've been talking about, you maybe start hedging, trailing stops, taking gains, things of that nature. And we had a good sell today. We'll see if it follows through. If it can hold, or if sellers can break 64 on SPX, then there's going to be some trouble here, and this isn't just going to be a one or 2 day event. So that's what I would say right now. And the last time I really said this was February 20th or 19th. I said, if we sell off, dealers aren't going to save this. So you have to understand that zombie auto dip buy is going to be, it's not there. It doesn't exist anymore, right? So if we buy the dip, it's going to have to come from organic buyers who want to pay for tech stocks up here. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. But right now, I would just advise caution. So market's selling pretty good. We talked about in the morning video, I called out the low of the day, said look at for 640. I said we're probably not going to get much past that, and we got like $1 or $2, a little overshoot, but it closed right there at the end of the day. QQQ, same thing. We said 570. We went down there, bounced, and then we closed just below that as well. So I think there was probably some assignments at the end of the day below those numbers. That's where we closed, but we did close above 64. So on the cash, I've seen this happen a lot, and that where they do something like that, it closes above this on the cash, below the level on the SPY. A lot of the time that follows a bounce, or precedes a bounce rather. So we'll see what happens, but I would just say don't assume that it's going to happen. It was very safe to assume. We told you every single time it was safe to buy every single dip, the entire way up, and we talked about it, every day. But this one is not. So you have to, if the market's going to be okay, it's got to prove itself to me, and I just don't see And there's certain things I need to see. I need to see hedging actually increase above 6,500, and that's not the case. And like I've been saying, dealers, they've stopped buying. They don't need to buy it anymore yet. Now, if we consolidate long enough, maybe that can be the case. But I would just say this is the first. It's just funny to even hear myself saying this. You guys are probably laughing, but like, yeah, this is like as bearish as I've been in a long time. And it's not like I'm that bearish, but I'm actually giving like respect to the downside here. So that's what I would do. Outside of that, yeah, you had some tech weakness. Semis led the downside, never a good sign. NVDA breaking broke the 20 MA, which has been intact like the whole way up, right? So that broke, and it's not a death sentence. Maybe it just goes sideways, right? But we are seeing evidence of damage here. Right, evidence of fatigue. QQQ, obviously losing 570, not good. There's a little bit at 565, just as like an ODTE level. What I don't like about the Qs here is you never really built like any sort of lower low support. So I would just say right now 550, and you got the 50 MA there. That would be kind of your higher low attempt. But 550 and then 540. There's a lot of pullback levels. Should we get down there, but I just don't I like to see a good, like, nice sideways base. Like the Russell here, it's got a nice sideways base to go off of, or Apple has a nice sideways base to go off of in a hypothetical. Whereas this is kind of choppy to the upside here. There's just a Momo trade here, but nonetheless, yeah, Q's closing below the 20 MA. It's only happened once since April 21st, and it was right here. The Russell tried to hold up earlier on in the day. I talked about breadth, and there's a reason why it was, as strong as it was. It's not about rotation, although there is some of that going on. Again, defensives, I'm repeating that over and over. XLP had a nice day, right, in a down tape. It should do that in a market that's down. But if volatility opens up tomorrow, which it will, it's going to require actual buyers. And we will see correlations actually matter here, not just one thing up, one thing down, Mag 7 up, everything else down, and vice versa. VVIX did catch a little bit of a bid up, 5.65. But yeah, the Russell here down $1.75, closed kind of at the lows of the day too. If it holds 225, it's okay. And there would be a possible, maybe it's a trap here, and as long as it holds 225, it maybe goes up and it tries to make new highs here, or new local highs. But again, it's gonna you're gonna need a reason to do it. So, all right, diamonds up 24 cents. That does make sense. Again, defensives up, tech down. We talked about the semis down 2%, IGV down 2.6. First time lower lows and lower highs since the low. That is a change of character. Tech leading to the downside. Transports up, they came off the highs again. Heavy dispersion out there today. Up 1.5. So nice move for the transports. We had bonds catch a little bit of a bid. ZT up fractionally, ZB had a decent day. TLT, caught a bounce. XHB was up, so again, a ton of dispersion out there. We'll see if this changes tomorrow. It should. But yeah, up 1.65. Still got inside bar. So XHB still looking good. VNQ even caught a bid. IYR up. So a nice repair job there. And then XLF here up 10 cents. KRE I think was flat by the end of the day. Yeah, it's flat to lower. Broker dealers outside move down. So be careful with that. And then oil here inside day, I think we had a new contract yesterday, but yeah, oil's kind of quiet here. A lot of peace deal talk right now. Oil is acting like it doesn't care. So I don't care until oil cares. XLE up 3 cents. Again, tech down. A lot of time energy will be the beneficiary of that, although XOP and OIH were flat. Dollar started red and closed green. So again, still defending 98. So we'll see if we can get something going here. Gold on the weaker side. Again, I told you guys to be careful with this. I don't like it right now. I think GLD wants 300 to be completely honest, which has been the dip buy. It's been the dip buy the last like month or two. But I would be careful with it. Silver also broke down earlier. I took a stop out on this earlier today. Yeah, right up and then boom, that just got wrecked. So silver in trouble here. Now I'll say this for silver bulls. Here's your positive. You still got a weekly inside bar. So your trend is up as long as this is holding 36, 32 on a weekly close. It's still technically okay. If it closes below that, that's a problem. So that would be a failure, and that would get me really bearish. Speaking of, you know, I talked about this kind of bull flag look here. It's a failure on the Qs. So be careful of those failed patterns. The market loves to top out like this. There's a reason why I'm talking about this stuff. Platinum down 1.74. It's looking like a lower high now. And palladium just continuing to grind down. Don't buy the dip on that. Copper rolling over. Nothing really to update on that. And we had crypto getting wrecked today. I think this will bounce tomorrow. But yeah, pretty good sell here in Bitcoin. So it did lose. Let's get our lines back. Yeah, lost this area. You got a pivot there, and then 110. Got the 100 moving average there as well. Ethereum did something interesting today too. Forget about that channel for a second, but it almost did the exact same thing that silver did, like an hour afterward. It had this like consolidation. It went up, and then just the bottom fell out, like almost the same exact way. It even had that bounce intraday right there, and then it went right down. I don't know. You guys tell me if you guys trade ETH a lot. Does this normally mirror silver? Because it was like almost the exact same thing. Just thought that was interesting. Ethereum here too, it could just hit the 20 MA and then bounce off that. I don't think ETH is necessarily dead yet. Anyway, so markets, again, your positive is you held 64. I would just say don't assume that they're just going to automatically give you free dips now, free dip buys, right? There's reasons why it happened each single time here. We pointed those out like pretty specifically, but this is not a time where we can rely on that. That does not mean the market can't go up. This does not mean Aaron's saying put all your money into puts and sell your 401k. It just means that I want to see bulls prove it. I want to see them reclaim levels intraday. We got a lot of day trading lines on here, so we could start with this one right here and, just prove that you have control. So that's all. Short term, immediate short term into tomorrow, bears got control here, especially if we lose that 6,400 area. Big picture, there's no real damage here on the spiders, but what I don't like is the NASDAQ led to the downside. And you talk about like divergent highs. it looks like it's playing itself out here. So we'll see. Maybe the market squeezes tomorrow, and then everybody's all warm and fuzzy again. So, all right. Anyways, guys, all wrapped up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.